Rick Jacobson. I'm the Retail Development Manager for Winfield for Eastern Ohio. The answer plot system that Winfield has composes of approximately 200 of these answer plots across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And the true answer plot system actually has two main focus points to it. The first part is an area where we have demonstrations of hybrids, varieties of soybeans and alfalfa, and new treatments that we're using for herbicide and other trials that we're doing in the answer plot. These plots are designed for us to use for seller training so that they can understand these traits, the hybrids, the varieties, and where they're used and how they respond to different treatments.
I'm Jean Bratton. I'm Chief Operating Officer of Town & Country Co-op. I'm in charge of agronomy and feed. I'd first like to thank all of the producers who came out for our event today, as well as who may be listening to this video. We sincerely appreciate the opportunity to earn your business every day. It's an incredible time to be involved in agriculture. Not only do we have the challenge of trying to feed a growing population across the world, but we have an incredible amount of science being applied to agriculture as well as to human life. For example, the entire genome for humans as well as most of the crops and animals that we are involved with has been mapped. And you say, so what? But scientists are starting to use that information to repress or express certain traits so that corn is more drought tolerant, for example.
Hi, my name is Jim Hitchcock, Area Sales Manager for Purina Animal Nutrition, and I'm proud to be in partnership with Town & Country Co-op at their Answer Plot event. Today I have the privilege to introduce Gary Novacek, keynote speaker. Gary's had a long career in the agronomy business. He earned his degree from Michigan State University, went on to earn his master's from Central Michigan University, has had a long career with Winfield, and today he's the National Corn Silage and Alfalfa Manager.
Hey, my name is Gary Novacek, and I have the luxury of running the alfalfa, corn silage, and forage sorghum business for Winfield and Cropland. And before I came down here, I was trying to think what I was going to say, so I'm going to start the morning off about corn silage because that's what I was supposed to do. So I was thinking about this corn silage thing. I jumped on this job about 3 years ago to run the alfalfa business. And we'll talk about alfalfa later. We're doing really well. If you guys didn't know, in the cooperative system, we came a long ways in this forage business. Right now, just to give you a real quick highlight, the cooperative system, not only we have the Cropland genetic and the Winfield system, but you guys are also part of what you call FGI, Forage Genetics. That's one of the best germplasm technology companies in the world, happens to be on our bus. And one thing I wanted to tell you is that what we did in alfalfa, we are spending huge amounts of energy and time to try to do the same thing in corn silage. And one thing that we're doing is that when I came in here about 3 years ago, I was trying to figure out how can I help you, help me, help you in corn silage. If you haven't noticed, we have answer plots. There's over 200 of these in the United States. And that's all the pretty part up front, the demos, right? That's where you can poke around and look at everything. And you look behind us, it's actually bona fide, legit silage and soybeans and grain research that we use. There's actually silage back there. So what I've done, there's over 65 silage plots like the one here that I have Pioneer in it, I got DeKalb, I got BMR, I got Leafies, I got dual purpose, they're all in there. Everything's in there. And what it is what it is. What it wins, I don't care what wins. That's if it's not our company's stuff, that's my problem. I got to start improving. I spent about $1 million on these things, so we're going to go out there and look at something. What do you think of that? All right, let's go. There's a silage block right there. Let's go over there. I'm going to tell you what I know over there and a couple little hints I learned about how to grow silage corn. How many guys here care about increasing protein? Anybody? I've learned over my years that way to increase protein is the whole starch energy thing, is that sometimes when you're popping some hybrids, when they have semi-flex air or flex airs, when you drop the populations back a little bit, you can help the protein. But really what really helps a lot over the years when guys are starting to really increase sulfur in their row starters or gypsum or whatever they do, every 10 pounds, 2 pounds of sulfur And every guy that I know that does it says their protein increases by a point to a point and a half. Some guys claim higher. Now, if you know what money that means, a point of protein, that's a pretty good day for software. Anybody want to guess on these top 100 customers that we know what their average spoilage was in a bunker? Anybody want to guess?
5%.
18. So that means like you and I were in a chopper in a 100-acre field, and you got the last 20 acres there, I say, leave her, let the blackbirds eat it. That's exactly what happens in an average dairy farm, right? That's a big gig, right? So not only do you take care of all this, putting the right soil, right, but it's like the rest of the story is what happens after you harvest it. And the other thing that happens is that we're trying to approve is that when a plant gets larger and when the plant starts developing in age, where does all the lignin, where's all the bad stuff, where does it start developing in a corn plant? Down in the bottom, right? So in Wisconsin and Michigan, New York, a lot of nutritionists say, hey, your corn ain't doing very good for RFQ. He says you need to improve that. I don't like what you're feeding. So they do what they call the old 18-inch chop in Wisconsin, right? They chop it right here, 18 inches. Anybody want to guess how many tons that is in an acre, 18 inches that you gave away to the worms? 1.5 to 1.7 tons, right? So what we're trying to do is develop management and hybrids, hopefully later on, that the lignin will not be more digestible 18 inches. You can take the whole plant and you won't goof up your world, see, on that. And the other thing is, I'm not going to go through varieties with you, but there's a couple of them in here that your local agronomist here sitting right with us today, if you have like nutrition problems, saying like your starch is too low, I would say more starch, there's varieties that when you drop the populations back, that will throw more airs at higher populations, that will help your starch, right? And if you have problems like diseases and insects, I mean, everything is starting to happen in the hybrids now that you can take care of about 90% of your problems with the hybrid selection on that.